They said that this could upset everything, that traveling would be halted, that this wouldn't even happen, that they would stop this from happening. They would come to a deal. Well, apparently they haven't come to a deal, and now they're asking people to only travel as needed for this Christmas Eve and Christmas. They are striking right now. It is happening right now. And the big question is, if it's happening there, could it happen here?
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever you are doing on this Christmas Eve, I hope that you are well, safe, warm. You have power, because thousands of people are without power right now. Thank God I am not one of them. I woke up this morning. It was about 5 degrees when I had to get my husband. And it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's about 4:45 when I left from here. And it was 5 degrees. And then it would drop down to 4 degrees. My tire even lost pressure. Is still at 31 right now, so I'm gonna have to put some more air in my tire. But let's get into the video so I don't keep you, because I know you are busy, and this was an unplanned video, but when I saw that this had happened, I had to bring it to you. Now, I may come back later today with the video. Two of you lucky people will win $50 Cash App, okay? So this is my way of giving back. I wish I could give back more, but I'm in the United States. So let's get into this video and what it is about. So this article is saying that rail passengers are being warned to avoid traveling on Saturday unless absolutely necessary, as further walkouts are set to cause disruptions. The last trains that are doing long distance routes will leave much earlier, with some rail companies unable to run any service at all. So they have walked out, okay? Busiest time of the year. They saw this coming, and yet they still did not try to reach an agreement with them. Also, you guys, I will have a clip at the end of this video. Okay, Network Rail said the Christmas Eve strike by its workers in a row over pay would have a severe impact on services. Trains will finish all around 3 o'clock before RMT union members begin industrial actions at 6 o'clock. Oh my God, y'all. I didn't read all of this article. I really didn't read any of it. I read like the first 3 lines. And I was like, okay, this one is due. This one will get the people what they need to know. Even if you're not living over there, you need to brace for things that are going to happen here as well. Okay, this says, and this is crazy, in the latest strikes in the run-up to Christmas, postal workers and border force staff are also walking out. Postal service, postal workers, and border force staff are also walking out. Around 1,000 border force workers began strike action on Friday at Heathrow, Gatwick, Manchester, Birmingham, Cardiff, Glasgow airports, as well as the port of New Haven. Border disruption has been minimal. They have installed the military personnel to try to run what would have been their workers running it. And so that's why they're able to kind of stay online and kind of get people where they need to be. The article also goes on to state that meanwhile, industrial action at Network Rail, which maintains the UK's rail system, will continue until 6 o'clock on December 27th. That there would be significant reduced services across the rail network on Christmas Eve. A couple of miles away at Euston Station, trains have been canceled. The railway strikes come at a time of widespread industry walkouts as staff across a range of sectors are involved in disputes over pay, jobs, and working conditions. Y'all, this is the same stuff we facing here in the United States. So yes, this could happen here. That question has been answered. If you're still wondering, yes, it could happen here. What are the workers seeking, though? Workers are seeking wage rises as the cost of living soars. The rate at which prices are rising, known as inflation, is running at nearly 11%, which remains close to a 40-year high. Other industrial actions on Saturday include more than 115 Royal Mail workers from the Communication Workers Union are walking out on the busiest day for pre-Christmas deliveries. Letters won't be delivered, although some parcels are still being dispatched. That is serious. Some national highways traffic officers are on strike in London and southeast England. Bus drivers from Abellio in London are walking out. The routes affected are mostly in South and West London. Elsewhere, ambulance drivers, nurses, and driving examiners are all set to strike at various points over the festive period and into the new year. I told you about the nurses that are on strike right now. Well, the ambulance drivers are expected to do a strike as well. If ever there was a SHTF moment, they are having it. They are having it. And I pray that that does not happen here. So here is a schedule of the strike, who is striking and when. So you see the nurses right here, ambulance drivers. Then you see rail all down in here, buses, highway workers, border force, Royal Mail, driving examiner, rail, buses over here again, highway workers, border force, driving examiner. As you can see, this calendar is going into January, okay? They're still talking about strikes, you guys. So we gotta watch what's happening over there and see if it's gonna happen here and prepare. And the best way you can do that is to prepare right now. Whatever you can find that you use. Don't get things you don't need. So here's the rest of the month. It goes all the way down here. Look at that. That's the 11th to 12th. Look, they even threw teachers in there. Teachers are about to strike as well. Article goes on to say that previous strikes by RMT have had a major impact on services throughout England, Scotland, and Wales. The union is due to hold further walkouts on the 3rd and the 4th of January and the 6th and the 7th of January. Union members have rejected offers in a dispute over pay, job security, and working conditions. The RMT General Secretary Mick Lynch said that the union remains available for talks to resolve the dispute, but until the government gives the rail industry a mandate to come to a negotiated settlement on job security, pay, and conditions of work, our industrial campaign will continue into the new year if necessary. Hopefully they can get this situation taken care of. Hopefully this won't happen here, you guys. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think, and stay tuned for that video later today. Please share this video out with your family, your friends, your social media, wherever you are on the web. Share this video out. Hit that like button. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think it's a possibility that this could happen here, whether it's with our nurses, our teachers, our highway workers, our rail workers, our bus drivers, our mail service. I mean, the list goes on and on. What is happening over there is SHTF situation. Prepare now. Stock up now. Have a blessed Christmas, and I'll see you later today with that video. And look out for that code word in that video, okay?
In the UK, a fresh wave of strike action that's expected to cause major disruption to key services in the run-up to Christmas has begun. Only about 20% of the country's normal rail service is expected to run. That means 4 out of every 5 trains will be cancelled. Many parts of Britain, including most of Scotland and Wales, will have no trains at all. and there are unlikely to be any trains running anywhere this evening. Network Rail has warned that trains that are running are likely to be very busy, and it's urging passengers to travel only if absolutely necessary.
At York's Christmas market, festive cheer is in good supply. But for people hoping to get here by train, more travel misery is in store. Local hotels worry strikes have put some visitors off.
They've had individual bookings cancelled, conferences, meetings cancelled. This happening just in the week before Christmas is obviously going to hurt because everybody's trying to bolster their bank balance in order to deal with the first quarter of next year.
On strike days this week, that's today, tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, only about 20% of Britain's usual train services will run, and trains will start later and finish much earlier than they normally do. There'll also be some knock-on disruption on Thursday and Sunday mornings. Rail workers in the RMT have already walked out on 8 days this year in a dispute the union says is over pay, protecting jobs and working conditions. Passengers now face 4 weeks of disruption. There are 2 48-hour train strikes this week. An overtime ban at 14 train companies from Sunday is expected to cause some cancellations, and a strike at Network Rail will see services finish even earlier than usual on Christmas Eve, and more national walkouts are planned in January. The rail industry says changes to working practices are needed to fund higher pay. RMT members have now voted to reject what Network Rail called its best and final offer. The union called it substandard. And RMT leaders have already turned down an offer from the train operating companies group and blamed the government for insisting on conditions it said weren't acceptable.